Namaste, namaste, family of light. Baba Sharon here. And we generally have our little discussion before. And I'm gonna do something here. One moment. We had a test prior to this. We had Sheila, Judy, and Mary help with that. And so thank you again. All right, with Margaret, I was gonna say Margaret, so Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Margareta, hi, how are you? Mercury in retrograde. So, we always breathe through all of the little bumps along the way. And interesting, I decided to wear my little crown. It's not the usually one I do, but I wear it a lot. And why is that? We weird things. And like, for example, we did have this Sophia code yesterday, very powerful with the goddess Hathor and royal blue, royal blue, everything has energy. And so, I got a royal blue scarf. Also getting into the habit of touching what would we call the Adam's apple. As we become more aware of things, we start implying things. And the reason with the crown, okay, was a period of time we were doing a manifestation, myself and Reverend Nancy, that started on 8/8 of last year. And in that process, okay, the whole idea of regalness came in. And just for me, personally, and I have another crown that's not this obvious. Before, I didn't want to wear any crown whatsoever. That was back many years ago because I had a whole experience of Jesus the Christ putting a crown in my head. I mentioned it to somebody, our beautiful Joe Amy, and she was like, "Oh, let's get you crowns." I'm like, "No, no, no, no." You know, People say, "Oh, you're not shy," but innately I am shy. I was very shy as a kid. So I'm like, I didn't want to use the name Baba Sharon. And can you imagine they gave me the name? I'm like, nah, that's okay. And it's part of our programming. And we really have to step out of that. We really have to step out of that. Yes, stay humble. Humble is the way to go, but also not to the extreme, okay, where you're not also empowered in the re-remembering of who you are as a magnificent spiritual being of light. So, whatever it is that makes you have a sense or feeling of a sense of royalty, most of us, all of us, I would say, on some level resonates to the royal priesthood of Melchizedek. So Melchizedek is an important player in all of this because he's sort of like in charge of all the spiritual evolutionary stuff. And there is the royal priesthood of Melchizedek. And of course, Jesus the Christ, who was here over 2 years ago, Yeshua, was part of Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek. So with that, the idea of whatever symbol it is that reminds you, okay, of who you truly are. We're just this aspect or a small portion of us is in this physical reality we find ourselves in. However, this physical reality, okay, is very important in that we have the in the sense of form, this 3D that we find ourselves in, which is in fact the temple. And the temple to be honored and recognized. When I was younger, I was like dragging my body around, not even sure why I had a body. It was just so cumbersome. But now later on, I understand uh, that it is its own intelligence as you really begin to understand what you would call the body elemental. And now we got to start talking to our body elemental, finding out what do you need? What do you need? And your own body elemental will start to tell you. So I have to tell you guys, okay, that after the initiation with Isis, with the Sophia Code, um, I'm talking about drastic change. And part of the drastic change is drastic in my diet. I mean, drastic because it is the complete opposite of what I thought my diet should be. Like unbelievable. I was like sort of in shock, like, what? Okay. And for me, it was very shocking because I've always sort of been programmed or thought that my diet should be a certain kind of way. And the information that came in was like, no, you should do it this way and listen to the body elemental. My body elemental is like, yes, yes, this is what we need. And I just got to tell you, my journey, well, all of you know, I always say as I get older, I get better, but I have no inflammation. I am getting younger, reversing my age. New information is coming, what to do for my body elemental to do this. I mean, stuff is real. It is real. So very, very exciting for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay, that's important. As I had mentioned on Saturday when we had our Sophia code, is that first of all, the first thing you have to realize that you're interdimensional. Let's just start off with that. So if you don't know that, well, you're not there yet. But that's the first step that you have to understand. Then you go and say, hey, there's probably many versions of myself experiencing myself in different ways and it goes on and on and on and on. But as we move forward in our soul pulse, that we're moving and feel this draw, okay, which is our soul calling us and coming into the singularity of the creator of all that is one, that all that is everything. And it's an interesting journey. I feel that we have different assignments and different reasons why we are where we are. But I will say this, in my opinion, this particular timeline, okay, that we find ourselves in, on this particular earth in three density form that we find ourselves on, I believe happens to be a very important and critical one that can impact the other versions of ourselves or other timelines. Uh, Many people here are very clear on the Christed, what we would say, the Christed timeline, the higher timeline, the Ascension timeline, that timeline, where there can be a convergence, whichever is the dominant frequency, and it doesn't have to be everybody. It's just those that say, "Hey, we like this thought form." Or this trajectory, if you will, of the higher soul pulse pulling an opportunity for a higher ascension, you could get all the other aspects together. Now, what I've told my other selves, although I may not know them, I had like one or two experiences where there's some other timeline of myself or parallel reality, whatever you want to call it. I said, hey, everybody, chop, chop. Let's all get on board. We're going on the ascension train. So whatever you're doing over there, let's all get into alignment. That's my thing. And interestingly enough, I end up reading something like that later on. But anyway, that's what I have to say. Okay, okay. So let's see here. I want to introduce, we have some new people here. We have Shia is here for the very first time. So everyone, she's here at the Cosmic Center Spiritual Eye, brand new from Maui. So welcome. And let's see, is there anybody on oh, I forget, I can't use that. Is there anybody on Zoom that's new? I think I'm seeing all the familiar, beautiful names, all our powerful light workers are here. And if anyone is new, just type in the chat and say, hi, I'm new, so we can officially welcome you. Everybody is so appreciative. And of course, the Ascended Masters always say, thank you for showing up because we are in a dimension of choice. The dimension of choice. That's one of the things that we get to do. We have a choice. Okay, so real quick before we get started, I just want to talk about the events that are coming up next week. Of course, if you go into our calendar of events, you'll see everything. But what's fairly new is becoming very, very popular is Reverend Nancy's Wednesday message service. So she's a very talented medium. And so for those that would like to hear of their loved ones on the other side, she would be the go-to person for that. And she does a beautiful service, also a healing service. And that is on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. What we don't advertise, but we are going to start advertising it, is on the second and fourth Thursdays is the names of God. And that comes very powerful. These are vibrations. We never advertise it when things get like, you know, you just can't have anybody as, you can't put diamonds, as Jesus said, to swine. You just have to make sure that people are understanding, what it is and the power that it holds. So for those that feel called, and I've always mentioned it, and I feel we got the guidance to go ahead and open that up more. But on the second and the fourth, at the moment, it's only in person, it's not online, is the names of God. And we do it mostly in Hebrew, although there are times we may say it in Sanskrit or in what other language of light that we have accessible to us on the planet. And then we also, as of course, Monday is the anchoring light, which is every Monday. But we also have what's new is, Reverend Nancy is available for personal, she's an intuitive, if people want readings for that. But Reverend Ilda Govarga is now available on Fridays. Her specialty is if there is any forces that are not positive or of the light, she can identify it, and more importantly, she can get rid of it. So that's her specialty. But she's also going to be doing a class which will it's going to be September 13th. It's called Spiritual Tools for Divine Protection. So anybody wants to say, hey, I don't have to say what's going on in the world. You already know what's out there, and they're like people from all different branches becoming aware, like, I don't know, I think that person is like possessed. Like, I don't know what happened to that person. Like something happened, like, this you hear that all over the place, and people are like going bonkers, like, I know we just had a discussion that, nice lady all of a sudden is turned into, this other thing that you don't recognize. And a lot of times, those forces, those energies, the opportunist. So somebody's not feeling well, or they're in pain, or they are maybe a little depressed. Okay, that's why you have to know what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are not yours. And anything that's not encouraging and positive and uplifting, I go, shh. All right, I shush it, because that's not coming from the light or my crew. That's something else trying to go in. And you'd be surprised, in the ancient of writings, they talk about it, the counterfeit spirit, that's there. And sometimes it's generational stuff that tries to keep things down. You just have to be aware and awake and be in your own sovereignty, And that means for you to be awake and aware, and only take on the energies that feel right, uplifting, come from the light. And those that don't, you cut them off. And I just say, go to the light. That's my recommendation for you. But yeah, there's a lot that's going on out there that I don't need to let you know, because all you have to do is look outside. Okay, so I think, and then the only other thing too, for September, we're going to have, again, to continue with the manifestation, abundance manifestation with Reverend Nancy and myself. And that's going to be for the 9/9 portal. Not on, we can't do it on September 9th, but we will be doing it on September 18th, which is a 9. And that has been building up quite a bit of momentum. All righty, so that's it. We're going to get started over here. So first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to share the screen. Okay, I cannot use this because let me put this away for you. Okay. And we are going to, let's see, this was being recorded. Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to say our prayers together.